Okay, I want to show you guys some of my new prospects. This one, it's orange, blue, and white. I got the clear lens in. This one actually, I think, came with a light sensitive or a amplifier, but I switched it out. And I like this one, just jet black. Simple, but I've been seeing Anderson and Mookie with all these cool colorways on the podium. This one's awesome. I'm more a fan of the clear lens or the light sensitive, but you can see the tint, how the pink looks. But I like this one a lot. This one, I love this colorway. And as you can see, it's got the light sensitive lens. And I love those. I love those especially for practice in the morning because there's a lot of shadows and stuff. It's not tinted really, but it like definitely makes a difference when you're going into the sun. You usually in the morning, like when you're heading one direction, when you're heading east, it seems like you're in the sun, but there's still a lot of shadows and stuff. This is a neat colorway. Gray, yellow, and navy. And you can see, since the inception of the prospects, they added another layer of foam. I'll show you an older model just to compare. Let me find one. Yeah, this model is older, and they're basically the same, except you see the extra red layer of foam. It's a little bit thicker, and I know it looks like they're just different colors, but you can tell a bit of a difference on your face. Now these two I'm real excited to try. I like this colorway a lot, but the main thing is the lens, the amplifier lens. Let me get a good look at that. I'm really excited to try these. I will say though, the amplifier lenses, they were harder to install. Like this one's the rose colored amplifier, and this is how the goggle came, and this one is the yellow or the gold amplifier, and it actually came in this frame. But I'm excited to try the amplifiers. My favorites, the ones I used in practices and most of the races, were probably the light sensitive most of the time, but I'm really excited to try the amplifier, and this is probably my favorite colorway, so I put the amplifier in this one. And the amplifiers, they're pre-curved, and they seem a little bit bigger, just a tad. You can see on there how the tear off, it's like not covering as much space as the tear off on here. And the amplifier, it's definitely more difficult to install for some reason. I used a card on the seam. It didn't want to go in on the bottom. I mean, it's still easy, but the the more flexible ones, they're way easier. I thought the pre-curved would actually be easier, but it's not. And when I got it, actually, the seam, it was a little uneven, so I made sure and locked it. And a good thing to do is when you get the corners in, and then the top, and then the bottom, anywhere that gets stuck, use a real thin card and just, you know. But anyway, that's it. And there's one more thing that I've been working on with this chest mount GoPro, and it's this. I don't know how that's gonna work this season, but a little bit of super glue and I cut some post off. I cut a section off, basically about that big, and just glued it onto one side, and used one of these straps. It hooked right on. So basically it's just like one side of the tear off with the two posts, and then this holding it on, but it works. And it'll probably just be good for one pool, but that's really all I need is to start. I'm not a fan of the chest mounts, but the AMA passed that stupid rule, so, which a lot of practice tracks ignore, but race tracks they're actually starting to enforce. So, stupidest rule I've ever heard of. I've been riding with the GoPro on my head last freaking 10 years at least, and every time I hit my head, this thing falls off. But whatever, rules are rules, you know. You gotta have the... Well, there's another look at them without the tear off. And normally I keep them in the baggies, but I took them out to show. And there's a little bit of moisture under the tear offs from the storage. But one little trick I do, sometimes in the bag, I'll put these little silica things, and it helps. It seems to help a little bit. Anyway, that's my 2022 Scott Prospect video. Really pumped for the amplifier lenses. They look, here's the rose hue. And they're both basically the same color. The gold is going to have more of a reflection if you run a lot of tear offs. And here's this one again. And all the tints I've noticed, they used to be different colors. Like the yellow would actually be blue, but it seems like this year they're all like this shade, because they all came basically with different colors. Like this one came with the blue, and this one was yellow, and besides the light sensitive, but the regular ones come with two lenses. I usually prefer the clear. These, I mean, these look cooler, but I'd rather have the more light. But the best of both worlds is the light sensitive, and I'm real excited, like I said, to try the amplifier. Anyway, that's it for the prospects. Looking forward to trying them out.